Hi guys, and welcome back to Stitch by Stitch Recovery. I am Harriet and this is episode number 3, which is pretty good. Hopefully it won't be too long today. I know I've been over 50 minutes each time for the last 2, but hopefully it won't be that long today. But if it is, oh wow, I enjoy watching long ones. I don't really watch shorter floss tubes. I watch the longer ones rather than the shorter ones. Just helps me feel like I know the person a bit more, I think. So what do I have for you today? I have whips, a new start, 3 whips that I found in my stash as I was going through them. And then I want to show you all my kitted up projects because I'm not actually sure how many I have, and I will be counting them as I go through and edit a little bit to see exactly how many I have. I have a new hat on today because it's quite warm here today. Hi. It's quite warm here today and it's a bit hot in my beanie. We have entered spring in Melbourne, and the fur is just flying off this little beast. Yeah, thanks, darling. I'm not sure if you can see what she's doing. She's settled, basically. So we have a visitor. She spent all morning on our bed, right in my spot, where she's not supposed to be, but she was being very good. So she was allowed to, yes, all right. I was clean with no fur, but oh well. Yeah, she spent all morning on our bed just being adorable. So she was allowed there. She's not generally allowed in our room unsupervised because we had an issue. Oh my goodness, just fur, just everywhere. We had an issue with bedwetting with her, but hopefully she's over it now. We think it was an anxiety thing, like if we went away a couple of days later she'd pee on the bed, and it was just not very nice. I'm pretty good this week. I had more blood tests done, and I will do stitching stuff really before I do more life update stuff this time. I know most of you are here for the stitching stuff rather than anything else. But I had blood tests done yesterday, and last night the nurse called me and said, you don't need to come in, so you don't need to have anything done. So I had all today free until this afternoon, where my mum's coming over after a funeral. She's attending a funeral for someone who's recently died of breast cancer. And then I've got friends coming over for a board game night. So and one of them has really bad hay fever, so I've got to make sure that there's not that much fur all over the apartment, which with the state she's in right now, it's going to be pretty hard, isn't it? Yeah. I'm hoping you can't hear the purring. You might be able to hear the purring. The general hum you can hear in the background in my videos is our refrigerator. We've got a separate little refrigerator, and apparently it's very loud, and the iPad can pick it up quite well, almost too well really. I have changed position that I'm in. I'm sitting more diagonally to the windows just so you get a bit more light and it's not as shaded. It is a bit shaded here, but that's fine. We don't really need to see my face that close. The water challenge isn't going so great. I'm getting like 2 of these a day and I should be getting 3. But I'm drinking other stuff, so we'll see. Hopefully I'll get better. I keep looking to my right because that's where all of my kitted projects are. And have you ever gone through your stash just to see how much you have? And then have just been like horrified at how out of control your spending was and how much stuff you have. That's me this morning. I was trying to find something specific and I found everything but that specific thing, and I was just like I have 5 folders of patterns one just full of Mirabilia and one full of Nora Corbetts. And I have 2 coming. 2 coming? 2 or 3? How many? Might be more than that coming. I was hoping they'd be here by now, but they haven't arrived yet. But this week I didn't really stitch very much I didn't stitch at all over the weekend. We had a few things on. It was my mum's birthday on Sunday, so we went out to dinner. Is that a bird? Yeah. Yeah, I know. So we went out to dinner with her on the Sunday night. Bye, darling. Please don't come back. Yes. Go away. We went out to dinner with her. It was a really nice meal. But given how busy the weekend was, I didn't stitch at all. Then Monday, Mum had some car issues with my dad's car and my dad's away, so I had to go and save the day and bring her car back because we were borrowing it because our car's having some issues, and which are hopefully getting fixed today. Hopefully. Partner dropped it off this morning. So I had to, Monday and Tuesday were really devoted to running around after the parents' cars and seeing how that all went. And then because I was waking up so early and doing a lot of stuff, I was getting really tired in the afternoons. So I was just tired, wasn't in the mood for stitching. So this is now the whips section of the video. But I did get some pretty good progress on Miss Colombian Nymphalid done. As you can see, the needle minder has moved onto the pattern along with the needle just so I don't lose it. And she has come off the Q-snap. Yay! Which does mean I get the Q-snap back, which means I can do whatever I want with it, really. Whoops. Trying not to get fluff on it, and that's pretty hard right now. So I have finished all of the cross stitch on her, and she just looks so pretty, so, like, the blues are just, when you're stitching it and you're up close, you're like, those are very similar, but when you see it in the camera and when you take a step back, they blend really well. There is a mistake here because I miscounted, but I'm not changing it, mainly because yesterday I was watching a Factorio speed run, and they were doing like a 100% challenge thing, which takes upwards of 14, 15, 16, 17 hours for the good people to do. So I watched one of them all day. So I spent all day on her yesterday trying to get the cross stitch done, and I did get it done, but by the end I was just like, I'm over it, I'm over you, you're pretty, but I don't want to see you anymore. I don't want to stitch on you. And I was at the point where I had to get the cross stitch done because otherwise I would not bring her out again. I was feeling a bit burnt out. I think after 8 hours, I just couldn't do it. So yesterday, what I got done was pretty much, let's see, it was in the Q-snap that way, was pretty much this whole wing. And I filled in the dress because that was only half stitches before. I didn't think this would take me anywhere near as long as it took me to do that, but it did take quite a while. But she's done now, so thank goodness. Now I just have to get the courage up to bead her, and then she'll be, and do the back stitch, but the back stitch isn't that bad. And then she'll be fully done. But as we know, I don't bead, and I should just practice on a bit of spare fabric, but even that I'm worried about. I don't know what it is. I do really want to see her finished, so hopefully I will get the beading at least started fairly soon. My mother-in-law is coming down for a visit this weekend, I think. My partner is a bit hopeless at organising things, so I'm not sure when we're seeing her. She's down for 2 weeks. I hope we see her quite a lot because she lives in Queensland. But hopefully she'll be able to give me the confidence to bead, because at the moment it's just not going to happen. After I did her, I then moved on to the A to Z of dinosaurs, and I was doing the Kentrosaurus, that one there. There. I only spent about an hour on him, and hopefully I will remember to insert a picture of what he looked like now. If I didn't, it's because I'm not very good with computers. But this is what he looks like now. So you can see he's a bit more filled in through his body, and I started the Kentro. I'm not sure I'm happy with just one strand of floss for the back stitching for the words. I'm sure it'll be fine on the actual dinosaur, but on the words I think I'm going to actually go to 2 strands and see how that looks, just because I think I want it to be a bit thicker than what it currently is. But this one, it's so many colour changes, and it looks great. It looks fantastic, but I'm just a bit burnt out on colour change. Well, not burnt out, but it just, because it takes me a lot longer. I'm only stitching this in little bits and pieces. But he'll look great when he's done. And then I have, how many letters are there in the alphabet? However many left there are. I went to high school. I don't, and university. I have a bachelor's in science and marine biology and zoology, but you'd think I'd know how many letters there are in the alphabet. Apparently not. I still have the cold, kind of. It's just all in my nose now. But that is pretty much gone, which is good. But because, so they're my 2 whips. And because I finished the cross stitching for Miss Colombian Nymphlid, I got my Q-snap back, and I was able to start a new, smaller project, which is fantastic. Great. Good. I can't remember which one I kept going which ones I kept going between last week. When it came to deciding this morning which one I wanted to start, it was either going to be Rhythm by Nora Corbett or Gardenia by Nora Corbett, and Gardenia won out. So I really love her. And I think she's actually going to be a fairly simple quick stitch, really. There's lots of blocks of colours, there is some Krynic, but not too much. I think it's mainly in the wings, potentially. And I have to order that Krynic. I'll get there. I'll get organised. But yeah, so I have a very little start on her. It's basically just 1 strand. She is on 32 count. Rain Stops Play by Chromatic Alchemy. And my little needle minder is from Gina's Unique Boutique. He's just a little green dragon. He's holding my green thread. And I've just done one strand for that. And I'm not sure if it's just the way I stitch, or I'm pretty sure I stitch backwards to the way most people stitch, because I start, like, pretend this was holes. I start here, go down here, come back up, and then go down, depending on which way I'm stitching, because sometimes I'll start here, no I won't. I'll start here, here, and then go, like the pattern might be vertical or it might be horizontal, so I stitch different directions depending on what I'm doing. But, oh, you can really see the blues and the pinks. But I feel like when this took the dye, it's made it a bit uneven, so that my stitches aren't like nice, neat little squares. But I'm going to keep going. I love the fabric. And it's not that bad. For all of my control freak tendencies and OCD tendencies, I don't actually mind it. I don't mind the way it looks. Hey, get out of that. Please, move. No. No, not on the fabric. Come on. Everywhere else has fur, but the cross stitch. You know this. You stay on that side. No. No. Oh, fine. If you're staying, you're going to sit. You're going to sit or fall? You're going to fall. Okay. Fair enough. Sorry. Look. Come here. Look at how fluffed up the tail is. Nova. So today, so that's my new start. Today I'm also going to show you the projects I have kitted up and that I can choose from if I choose to have a new start, which I'm hoping not to, because I currently have 7 or 8 whips on that. When I was going through the projects I had kitted and my boxes of stuff, I found 3 whips that they haven't been abandoned, they just haven't been worked on for a while. For no particular reason. I think I just got bored. Or I was finding it difficult. One of them I was finding difficult. So I'm going to show those to you, and then I'm going to do my tiny bit of haul, and then I'm going to go to the kitted up projects while I battle fur. No pause. I don't have food. Sorry. So the first whip, I think this one's in timeout simply because it's actually embroidery and the fabric is filthy. This has been a whip for a while. It's the Cottage Garden Threads embroidery fox stitch along, so you can see, and the outline came from one of the adult colouring books that we have, and then I've started stitching here, and then you can see all the rest of the outline needs to be stitched. But I think I was just finding it too hard to follow where everything needs to go. I love it, and I should get back to it. The colours are going to look amazing when they're actually done. I'm not sure how many of you really know Cottage Garden Threads, but they're a hand-dyed thread dyer. here in Australia. And they just do the most amazing colours. And they're not very well known, but here's a few of them that will actually go onto that. What are you doing? Okay, you're all good? Yeah? Here's all the ones that will go on that fox. And like the colours are gorgeous. They're showing up pretty true to life. There we go. If you guys ever need to try them, they're so nice. I highly recommend these threads. They do have some dye lot issues. So I have a pattern that I've kitted up with their threads, and I don't think I have enough thread for it, but they've changed their dye lot for that particular thread. And it looks nothing alike anymore. Well, it looks slightly alike. When I get to it, I'll show you. There's going to be lots of crinkling. Sorry. No, I like crinkling. Yeah, it shows that things are open. The second Lost Whip is a kit by Dimensions called Hang In There. I started this when I went to see the first specialist who said it wasn't cancer and it wasn't leukemia. Surprise, it's both. But I haven't really done very much on this one. And I think the reason I actually stopped is I've added in a row of stitches somewhere in here. So I was just like, oh, I'll just keep stitching it and I won't pull it out and I'll just double the stitches. And I think I realized very quickly that that was harder than I thought it was going to be. But I should go back to that. I do want that one actually like framed and in the apartment somewhere. And it's a pretty easy stitch, just a 14 count white blue Ada. You are now really in the way. Miss, please move. Nope, okay, fair enough. And the third but last Lost Whip is the Little Beach Hut Otter Love hoop design. That is just, it's so gorgeous. So cute, so very, very cute. And I don't really have much done. There's a thread, sorry, I'm fixing it. I don't really have much done on that, but that's what it is so far. Another one that I should really get back to, but I just haven't. I substituted the fabric for that one. It did come with a light blue 14 count Ada, but this one is something turquoise from Sew It All, and it was just an offcut that I got from as one of their grab bags, and it's a printed even weave. And it's very soft and very flimsy, and until I had it serged by my mother-in-law, the fabric was just falling apart and it was really hard to deal with. So yeah, so that's, I think that puts me up to 10 whips, realistically. Or you may have just seen half of the pattern. That's okay. Oh, sorry, my back is very sore. I discovered something this week. I discovered that the pin stitch is absolutely brilliant. It's fantastic. It works so well and it makes your work look so much neater and have less bulk. And it means that I can do stitches like random stitches in the scope. Can I put that behind it and it won't really show? Yeah. Like random stitches that you've got all the way away from other stitches that you need to complete. It makes them so neat and they just work and you don't have threads carrying everywhere. So yeah, the pin stitch, absolutely brilliant. I did mention that I'd looked at a tutorial about it last week, but it's so great. It's fantastic. I'm saying a lot. Chemo Brain is getting better, but it's not like 100% better, which is why I pause a lot. I did get my schedule for next week, which will be 2 weeks before, I think it's 2 weeks before the bone marrow transplant. So we've got a date scheduled for the chemo before the bone marrow transplant, and then an actual date, like day 0 for the bone marrow transplant, which is the date that it's on. So as of October 16th, I will be in hospital for a good long while. We'll see how long it is. Fingers crossed that I don't get too sick, and touch wood I don't get too sick, but I think it's pretty inevitable. I just have cat fur everywhere now. I'm not worried about being sick. The hospital will do the best they can to help prevent me from being sick and to fix whatever bug my body decides to catch while I have no immune system. The one thing I am worried about though is it gets rid of all of my immunities that I've built up over the last 27 years, and it gets rid of all of the vaccinations that I've had. So like over the next 3 years or something, I will need to have all of the vaccinations that I had as a baby, then as a child, and then through high school, which that's a lot of vaccinations. And it's just a shame that I'm losing my immunity to everything. So I will have to be super careful around people who potentially have chickenpox or measles or whooping cough, because I won't be immunized against them. Sorry. More scars. I should be used to them by now. So before I go into the massive bag of kits, I have a small tiny bit of haul that's not stitching related, but I thought I'd show it anyway. I walked to my local shopping centre. I think it'd be a mall, like a big mall type thing if I was talking in American terms. Basically, it has every shop you could ever want in it, except for a Kmart, because Kmart weren't able to get in there when it was being built. But I bought 3 books. I bought Jules Verne's Journey to the Centre of the Earth. So I'm looking forward to reading that. The Life of P.T. Barnum, about the person that they kind of very loosely based The Greatest Showman on. And then I also bought the Michael Crichton Dragon Teeth one, which says it's the new blockbuster, but I haven't heard of it and I haven't seen anything about it. I originally wanted to see if they had the Jurassic Park one, the Jurassic Park book, at the bookstore that I was at, but they didn't. So, and he has a lot of books. Look at that list of books. But they didn't, so I got this one instead. I'll probably end up ordering Jurassic Park on Amazon if I'm able to. Shout outs for this week go to the Woolly Hatted Stitcher. She's commented on both of my videos. She's a lovely person. She does Flosstube herself. She's got so many projects and they're all really cool and pretty. Go check her out. She's great. The Introverted Stitcher. I watched Kyle's last Stitching and Sounds last Flosstube and he mentioned her, so I went and checked her out. The mirrors that she's completed that she shows off in episode 1 are so gorgeous, and it's thanks to her that I have one of them coming in the mail. I saw it and was like, how do I not have this one? Like, I have a folder of them and I don't have that one. I need that one. So I went to 123 Stitch and bought it. And then bought some other stuff because being in Australia, you don't go to 123 Stitch and order just one thing because the shipping is quite expensive, really. But then we're in Australia, so shipping anywhere is expensive. But yeah, her mirrors are amazing. Then there's Andrea Stitches in Colorado. I'm reading my notes, that's why I'm looking down. Her Historical Women's Cell by Clouds Factory is amazing, and the changes she's made, is fantastic, and it all makes sense, and I'm this close to going to buy it, but I really can't. I really, really can't. You'll see why in a minute. The amount I have kitted up doesn't even touch the surface of my stash. And considering that I've only really properly been stitching for the last year or so, I can't do it. And I shouldn't do it. I've got too much already. Particularly where I am treatment-wise, there's a chance that it still won't work. We're very hopeful that it will, but there is a chance that it won't. And if my stash keeps growing, my partner will just like, he already doesn't understand, but he will start getting just very, probably vocal about his not understanding. Why do you have so much stuff? You don't need this much stuff. You won't ever stitch it. But now I finished the cross stitch on one, so I've got three almost finishes. One finish and two almost finishes. But yeah, Andrea Stitches in Colorado. She's fantastic. And then there's the Silver Stitcher. I watched her this morning and she showed off these little animal pins, and there was this little fox pin. I think they're counting pins, and they're just fantastic. They're so cute. They're so gorgeous. I love them. Yeah, just fantastic. Ta-da! Here is my little creeper. Hi. Yeah. No, don't. Whatever. And then Gulf Coast Stitcher, you commented that you wanted to be besties as well. I'll be your bestie. I'll be everyone's bestie. I don't comment a lot on Flosstubes because I watch them on my TV. And then I'm not very active on Facebook and Instagram. I'm not as active as I would like to be. Sometimes because I don't have the energy, but also because there's a part of me that's just like, why would these people want to hear from you? Why would they want to read your comment? Like, if all you're going to say is, oh, this looks fantastic, why would you do that? So a lot of the time I just like the photos, or if it's on Facebook, I put a little love heart and I don't comment, which means I'm not as active, hi darling, in the community as I'd like to be. But there's always a little piece of me that's kind of holding it back. So we are at 35 minutes, I think, yeah. Sorry, I love the tail and it's always moving. So it's like a game of catch the tail. Yeah, she's aggressively headbutting my hand. That's a quote from my brother. She aggressively headbutts your hand to get you to pat her. She loves pats. She loves attention. And food. Oh my god, and food. But now, that's pretty much everything I've wanted to talk about. So let's get done. Let's get into the kit bag, I guess. There's someone at the door. No, someone in the other apartment. Good girl. Yeah. So, this is what we're going through. Don't mind the Skechers logo. I'm not affiliated with them or anything. I'd love to be. They are the only shoes I wear now. They're just so comfortable. But the first one I have to show you. So these are all fully kitted, like threads, floss, fabric. Threads and floss are the same thing. Pattern, floss, fabric. There will be a lot of crinkling. I like the crinkling, so that's why I didn't take them all out. I won't show you all the fabric because a lot of them are just on plain white fabric, but some of it I will. So the first one I've got is A Little Light Reading by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's a Randall Spangler artwork, and it's so cute, and it's all fully kitted up by Hay. And then, because it's a full coverage one, I'm just doing that on easy count. This is a 32 easy count, so it will hopefully end up being, a lot smaller than, no, good girl, a lot smaller than it's originally charted for, but it's gonna look amazing, no matter how it gets done. The next one, I'm trying to figure out which way I've put them in, because there is a system, or there was a system. The next one is Mirabilia Biancabella. She's actually the first Mirabilia pattern I bought, and I think she's gorgeous. I love the mints and the aquas. She will be done on 32 count Silvery Moon fabric. Just looks like that. That's pretty true to life, really. She's high up. She is pretty high up on my list of I want to get her done. But I have Stargazer and then my Chatelaine, which you haven't seen yet, that I want to get done. And I think I might have another Chatelaine coming, but I can't remember, so fingers crossed I get to the mailbox that day before my boyfriend does. Just to see. The next one is Lavender and Lace Celtic Spring. She's so gorgeous. She's so lovely. In Australia, our seasons are back to front to America's and, well, to the northern hemispheres. So I was born in spring, so I've always really identified with it. She's a little bit darker than what I would like in a spring pattern. Like, I feel like the autumn, no, the bluey green one, the one that I'm showing next, summer. I feel like summer should be the spring pattern and summer should be like reds and yellows and bright hot colours, but I didn't design it. I could convert it, but I have the needle paints. How am I going to show these? I have the needle paints for her, And some of these she doesn't use. She only uses, well, she doesn't use any of them. She doesn't use any of them. Summer uses them. But I have the purple needle paints that some of these lavender and lace patterns require, because they were, the needle paints were created for the lavender and lace patterns. We have a shop. I thought they'd been discontinued, but we have a shop in Hyatt, which is just on the east side of Melbourne, that sells them. And she said she could get them in again for me if I needed more. So someone's making them, or someone has a stash. She will be done on a 28 count Joblin Star Sapphire, which for a sapphire, wouldn't you think it's blue? But it's actually green. But it's lovely. You're not seeing it very true to life. But this is one of those most common, I think most common colours that some of these patterns are done on. So yeah, I'm not doing, it's not the called for, is it? No, the called for is 28 count willow green linen. I'm not doing any of the called for colours, fabric colours, for pretty much all of my projects, I don't think. I've just chosen fabric that I liked. So that's 3 so far. The next one is lavender and lace, and I've tried to group these in like designers, I guess. The next one is lavender and lace summer. So I don't know, I just feel like she's more spring, but I could be wrong. And she will be done on, where is my, on 32 count hand dyed Joblin African Daisy by Witcher. It's a very nice yellow, mottled yellow. And then I have this random speck of green down in the bottom, which I actually quite like, but that'll end up being in the border. So, like the framing border. So it doesn't really matter that it's there. Oh my god, I'm so fluffed. Thank you. And the static from the bags is making it all stand up, which is not a good thing. The next one is, I thought I opened them all. Oh, I have. Nora Corbett Rhythm, which I'm sure you guys have seen, because I've probably said that I want to start her fairly soon. She will be done, she doesn't have many threads, sorry for the glare, but she doesn't have many threads. There are a few Crescent Colourworks and Karen Water Lilies, but I'm just going to sub them for DMC. I'm not prepared to pay the money either for the threads or for shipping for just like, I don't know, it'd be 50 stitches in the hair, maybe 100 stitches in the wings. I can't do that. I can't justify that. But she'll be done on, can you see the sparkle? Oh, you can, good. 18 count Ada Opalescent White by Witcher. And I think I'll have enough fabric left over to do someone else on that fabric, but we'll see. Oops. You'll start being able to see them as we come, but that's alright. The next is Jasmine by Nora Corbett. Again, I am obsessed with Nora Corbett and Mirabilias. I just love them, they're so pretty. She will be done on a 32 count antique white Joblin. Just to see if I like the Joblin. I don't think I've stitched on Joblin yet. I have a lot of it. I have more Lagana, but I have a lot of Joblin. Sorry for that noise. But we'll see what happens. The next, and all of the next one, five or six, all of the next 5 or 6 will all be done on 32 count white Joblin or Lugana, so I won't show the fabric to you. But the next one is Miss Goss Swallowtail, who is like the blue partner butterfly to Miss Colombian Nymphalid, who I just got the beading to do. We'll see how that goes. Miss Black Swallowtail is all fully kitted up as well. She has a lot of blending in her, so I'm not sure. And I guess it's all through the wings. I guess all of that in the wings is blended up the top. So we'll see how that goes. I'm not a huge fan of blending. I don't know why. I'm not afraid of blending like I am with beading. The next is Miss Solar Eclipse. She's very gorgeous. She's very simple. She probably requires the least amount of DMC in her than the other ones, than all of the other butterfly misses. We've got Miss Aurora Morpho. Again, she's gorgeous. I don't really have a least favorite in these, so it's making me kind of question where I'm going to be stitching them. But the next one that I stitch will be Miss Lowell's Dagger Wing. I love her. I love the red, and I like how little her wings are compared to the rest of them. So again, they're all being stitched on 32 count white Lugana or white Joblin, which is why I'm not showing the fabric. The next two are, should I count these as 1 or 2? Because I'm making them 1. I should do them the way that I'm actually going to stitch them. Maidens of the Season 1 and Maidens of the Season 2. And what I'm going to do is stitch them side by side so that it, is that right? Yeah. So that it's spring, summer, fall, or autumn, then winter. I love them. They're gorgeous. Again, I'm not doing them on the call for fabric, which is tumbleweed. I'm going to be doing them on a very big piece of water lily 28 count Joblin. And I think I've done my math right. I think that they'll fit. But I won't know until I start stitching them. But they're not very high up on the list. They're kitted because I bought them at my LNS and I was in a mood to kit something, so I kitted them up. But we'll see how that goes. I don't think I'll be kitting them. I don't think I'll be stitching them anytime soon. Is this the last Nora? Yes. So the last Nora Corbett that I have kitted up is Sweet Pea. Oops. She's lovely. I love all the colours in her. She's fantastic. I'm sorry if you can hear my cat in the background. I can't control her. She will be stitched on a, this doesn't have a ticket, a 28 count Petals Lugana from Picture This Plus. I think it's Picture This Plus. It's not showing up very well there, but it's like, oh, there we go. It's like a pink, a very mottled, very light pink, but it's very pretty. I think she'll look very good on that. So that's all of the, oh my goodness. That's the Nora Corbett section. That's the Lavender and Lace Mirabilia Nora Corbett section. So many of them. And just remember, that doesn't include the ones I have in my folder. So, I now have a folder for Mirabilia and one for Nora Corbett because I'm insane. And I stress shop. Pretty much all of this is a result of me stress shopping when I was diagnosed. I went very insane. Very, very insane. I cannot believe I have so much stuff. And I have more coming. I'm pretty sure I have more coming. Some of it I bought back when I was in hospital last time. And then some of it I placed today with some birthday money that I got. But that's mostly stuff to finish kitting stuff up. For example, I don't have the beads for, oh, what's your name? Miss Colombian Nymphalid. I have one of the beads, but I don't have the rest, so I bought the rest of them. And then there's a few other things that I needed to get. This is going to be a long one again, guys. I should have probably put it into separate videos. Oh well. The next one is Joan Elliott, Once Upon a Time. I love this one. If I am ever lucky enough to have a child or adopt a child, as it's looking most likely now because of all the chemo and then the bone marrow transplant, I want that hanging in their nursery because it's just gorgeous. I can't wait to be able to read to children my own, even if I have to adopt. But she'll be done on this gorgeous 32 count Joblin Summer Sky by Witchell. And I probably won't stitch her until I am all clear. All clear, is that the right wording? We'll go with it. This is actually, the fabric is so floppy that it's hard to put back into the thing. So it's that one. We're about halfway through. Probably a bit more. Stop it! No, you know you're not allowed to be on the fabric. Good. The next one is Dream, Hope, Believe, Imagine by Joan Elliott Designs. I will stitch the Believe and the Hope first. I'm not sure I'll stitch the Dream and the Imagine. This pattern was given to me by my mother-in-law when I was, no, sorry, I might have to take a break in a minute and put her in her room. Be good, come here. No, come here. Other side. Sit, stay. Yeah, good. Dream, Hope, Believe, Imagine is what I'm talking about. It was given to me by my mother-in-law, fully kitted up, oh, without the fabric, because she knew that I'd stress shopped and bought a lot of fabric. And this will be done on 32 count Lugana, fabrics by Stephanie, April Showers. It's a gorgeous blue, green, pink, purple piece of fabric. I love it, and I think it will really help draw out the colours in the piece when it's eventually stitched. I think I might take that one into hospital with me from the 16th and start the Believe, maybe the Hope actually. Apart from the beading, I don't think it'd be a very hard stitch. I don't think it's designed to be a very hard stitch. And that paper is lovely. Like, it's thicker. It's not just printer paper. It's lovely and glossy and thick, and I really like it. I wish all patterns were printed on that. Especially because it's A4. I really struggle with the Nora Corbett and Mirabilia layout because it's so big. And because I photocopy them and make working copies, it's hard to get every bit into the, like, to print nicely, to photocopy nicely. I have a printer photocopier that I use. So the next one is the thing I've been hinting at, my chatelaine. It's the Alpine Seasons. I have this on my iPad and I'm filming with my iPad, so I had to print it out. It's the Alpine Seasons chatelaine, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I've loved this one since I first saw it, and then for my birthday, no, for Christmas last year, my partner got me all of the, he bought me the kit basically from European Cross Stitch Company. So they're all the beads, which is, it's not much, which is good for me considering. I have to get over my fear of beading before I start this project, obviously. And then these are the threads. Like, I've never had so many, well, I've never had so many specialty threads. But we went with the needle point, no, stop, ow, sorry. With the needle point silks. Just because it's a chatelaine and I want to do it right. That one's gorgeous, whatever that one is. That is, oh, of course, it's a Karen collection. Rose quartz. Like, there's water lilies. There's Gloriana. That one's, I don't know what this is. The Cottage Woods. Princess Petite Pearl. Like, that's gorgeous. And then of course you've got, I love these floss away bags. I wish we had access to them in Australia. We've got like a pearl petite treasure braid, two brassy ones, a confetti-ish one. It's not showing very well, but it's just, they're amazing. The flosses are amazing. And I just went with fabric, the fabric that European Cross Stitch was recommending, because I didn't want to have to order a custom cut from anyone. So that's this fabric right here. It's showing, it's a bit darker in person, but it's basically the fabric that is shown on the chatelaine website, I think. No. Some people have kids. I have a crazy cat. But yeah, that's that one again. It's going to look amazing when it's stitched. It won't get started until next year. I think I might make that my New Year, New Start one. Especially because I've got to finish Stargazer before I even begin that one. So I get the Q-snap back. The next one. Yeah, there's a lot. The next one is Night of the Dinosaurs. I have stitched this one here. I inherited this pattern from my mother-in-law. It's a very well-loved pattern. I've loved it even more. I did try and find another one so that I could have a not so loved one, but I want to stitch this one as well. I do have some 14 count black Ada that I could use, but I was going to see how it would look on this this fabric here, which is Nox by Chromatic Alchemy and is a 28 count Brittany Lugana. I'm not sure if that's too light. Like, that sounds very silly, but because it's a lighter grey, I'm not sure it'll give the contrast that this one does, but we'll see. I can always try it and then rip it out if I don't like it and restart it on the 8er. I have enough of the thread. I really do. So we'll see what happens with that. There isn't too many more, she says, looking down and grimacing at how many kits she has. I will do a stash parade one, maybe, if people want it. If you guys want to see some of the stash, maybe just the Mirabilias and the Nora Corbett's, then let me know down in the comments. I am trying to answer every comment that I can. I think there's a few from this morning that I haven't answered yet. I think Kyle left one and Gulf Coast Stitcher left one. Thank you guys for that. You guys are amazing. That I haven't answered, but I will once I get this uploaded. Yeah, I think I saw them as I woke up and then got busy with chores and had to do stuff. The next pattern was one that we originally bought to start my mother off cross stitching again, but since we bought it, she hasn't really shown any interest in starting it. She does have another one at home that she could start, so I was thinking that I might start this one. It's just 14 count on 14 count white 8er that we bought. Floral Rainbow by Country Threads. Oops. It uses anchor thread, which I've never used before. Not even the black. I know a lot of people prefer black anchor thread to DMC thread, black thread, but I've never tried it before, so I'm actually very curious to try it. I'm not doing very well with looking at the camera today, as I say with my eyes closed. But yeah, thank you to everyone who's left comments. Flosstube Itchy Nose is a real thing. I'm trying to answer back to everyone. Hopefully I can still do that. I at least put a heart. Okay. And I'm really sorry to the person that I put a thumbs down on. I didn't realize I'd put a thumbs down on my phone, and then I went and looked at it on my computer and I was like, that's not right. I mean a thumbs up. So I went back and thumbs up it. I'm so sorry. The next one, we've got four more to go after this one. So this is the 5th last. The 5th last is Papillon Creations Love with a capital L. I've already chosen my needle minder for this one. And this one will eventually be mine and my partner's marriage sample, I guess. And it'll hang pride of place in our hallway when we eventually have a hallway and not just a tiny apartment. It's going to be done on 32 count antique white Lugana, just because I don't want the fabric to take away from the design. So it's just got a really plain fabric. And I will be doing this with a Threadworks thread number 1025, which is a lovely variegated light blue and navy blue. The variegation's not really coming out very well there, but trust me, it's very variegated. It's very lovely. I can't wait to do it. The pattern does ask for 2 colors, but I'm only going to be doing it in that one variegated thread, just because it is so highly variegated. Okay, so the next one is a pattern that I saw on someone's Instagram months and months ago, and I haven't seen it again. They just finished it. If you know who it was that finished it, let me know, because I'd love to see it done again. But it's Noah's Ark by Teresa Wensler. All of the animals around the border are stitched 1/1. And I think, and it's got beads and specialty stitches as well, and it looks amazing. The chart is really great. but it's another big chart. But this one should be easy to photocopy at least. I think I've done my math right with this one, and it will be going on a fat quarter of 32 count silvery moon. It's in half at the moment. There's more fabric, but easier to show this way. That's not right. So yeah, that's Teresa Wensler, Noah's Ark. If you guys know who stitched that one, can you let me know? Because I love it, and I would love to see it stitched in person again, even if it's just in photos. So yeah, there's still more. The third last one is Tribal Turtle by Mo Sail. I love this turtle. Turtles are actually my favorite aquatic animal. My partner and I went on a cruise where we got to swim with turtles and actually like touch and pet a turtle, which I'm sure everyone's gonna be like, you shouldn't do that, but it was amazing and I don't regret doing it. It's gonna be done on just some linen, some dusty blue Essex linen. I don't actually know what count this is. It doesn't look too bad, but if I can't do it, like if my eyes refuse to do it, I'll just trade it out for one of the hand-dyed pieces that I have. I just found it at my L&S, which is Tranquility. It's called Tranquility. It's amazing. And I have 2 different colorways that I can choose to do this on. Yeah, I do. Not 3. I have 3 separate threads in there. But I'm either going to use Lyrebird Walk by Cottage Garden Threads, which would look like that. It's not a great way of showing you, but oh well. Or I'm going to use, come on, nope. Pacific Ocean by Mo Sail, which is a lovely light green, blue, light green variegated thread. And I think it'll look very pretty, whoops, very pretty on that fabric. I did think that I should probably use like an orange or a red or a pink in here, but I think I'm just going to stick with the blue. I'm more likely to display it somewhere if I stick with the blue, so I'll just stick with the blue. But I have more than enough thread to finish that one in both colours, so I'm going to have to find something else to stitch if I don't end up using, for whichever colour I don't end up using. There is another whip that I've forgotten about again, and it's Opus. It's one of the Opus ones by Long Dog Samplers. But it hasn't been stitched on in at least 1.5 years, so it's not going to get stitched on anytime soon. And that one's massive, and I'm pretty sure I made a counting mistake, and I'm a bit scared to go back and look. But the second last pattern I have kitted up is Pansies and Dandelions by Linen and Threads. Is that who it is? It must be one of theirs. They're a shop here in Australia. So there's that one, and I had the idea to make it, I think I was thinking of violets, because I wanted to do it in purple and green, so those colours there. And this is the Cottage Garden thread I've had dye lot issues with. So in some of them, the purple is blue where it should be purple. So I've had to be very careful in which ones I buy for that. And I don't think I have enough thread of this one, actually, to do this whole thing. So I may have to be careful with how I do it. But I probably won't start that one for ages. We'll see what happens. That'll just be done on a 14 count aider. I don't even have the brand for that. It's just the cutting of it. And then my very, very last kit, kitted up piece, which is also a kit, which will probably end up being the last thing I ever stitch, is a Dimensions Gold collection, the Teddy Bear Gathering. And I love this. I do love it. I'm actually a bit daunted by it. It's a full coverage piece. Well, it might not actually be full coverage. That doesn't look like you stitched there. But I'm a bit daunted about how big it is, and the fact that it's a Dimensions kit. And I have a lot of other stuff that I want to stitch. But it comes with all the threads. Oh, don't show that. A bit of Aida, which probably won't be big enough. We'll see. And I think it even comes with a needle somewhere. So that's all ready to go. I could just pull that straight out and do it, but I'm not going to. So that was all my whips. Hopefully, not my whips. That was all my, now I can close it again. That was all my kitted up projects. Hopefully my partner doesn't see this video, or doesn't watch till the end. My plans for this week are to just get through it, basically. Monday I have the dentist with my mother. Then Tuesday I'm going to the show with my mum in the afternoon. So my mum's on school holidays. So hopefully I'll get some stitching done in the morning, but it might not happen. Wednesday my mother and I will be at the the Royal Melbourne, pretty much all day. My first appointment's at 8. It's at 8, and my last appointment's at like 4, and that's for a lung function test. No, it's for a blood pooling test or something, and I don't know how long that's going to take. So we'll see. Thursday, I have another bone marrow biopsy. I'm super worried that it's going to say, that the results are going to say that that the leukemia has come back, but I won't find that out until the following Monday when I have a appointment with my specialist. Thank you for everyone who's made it to the end of this very long video again, and who's praying for me and who's sending happy and positive vibes. It's really appreciated. Since I joined the Flosstube community, everyone's been so wonderful and so lovely and so nice. I love you guys. You guys are the best. Stitching people are the best. You're just fantastic. So I'm glad I made the plunge to do this. But then I don't know if I'll be able to film again next week. Either I won't have anything done, or I'm too busy. But we'll see. But I think I'm going to end it here. I don't really know how to end it. I could say I'm made to weather the storm, which is the print over there, which I showed last video. I am feeling a lot more positive now about things. It helps that I haven't had to be at the hospital for a week and a half. Week and a half? Yeah. And I'm able to actually run around and handle stressful situations again without completely tiring myself out. But there are always worries at the back of my mind, I guess. But maybe I'll end with 3 things I'm thankful for. So the 3 things I'm thankful for this week are the Flosstube community. You guys are the best. I love you all. You're just fantastic. The second thing I'm thankful for is warm weather. I'm so glad it's getting warm. We didn't have, like, it wasn't that cold in Melbourne this year, but it wasn't very nice. So I'm very glad that we're getting up to like 18 degrees, 20 degrees consistently. And then the third thing I'm grateful or thankful for is my friends. So I don't have many friends, really. I'm quite introverted, and because I've had so much stuff going on, there have been some people who have left my life, probably for the best, but you know, they could have been a bit more supportive. One person in particular. But I'm grateful for my friends. We're having a games night tonight while the preliminary? Yeah, the grand final's next week. Wow, no. Yeah. AFL, sorry. We're having a games night while one of them watches the football, so it should be good. That's at my house, so if I get tired I can just go to bed. But yeah, I am grateful for my friends. They've been very supportive. 3 in particular have just been so wonderful, and I love them, and I'm glad that they are in my life. So that's what I'm thankful for this week. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your comments, and thank you for subscribing and liking my videos. Make the most of it, guys, because you never know when you're going to get something that completely screws you over. On that note, bye!